and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's episode of Is This Really Vampire the Masquerade? We're not really sure anymore. I'm your host for the evening, the Game Weaver, and as such, I would like to remind everyone watching the stream or this program, wherever you may be doing so, the Vampire the Masquerade is a mature game. The images and other such, the opinions, and anything that can be taken from any of the characters is not necessarily representative of the people who play them. As such, all viewer discretion is advised. So,
Lovely.
as we were, Lawkeeper.
So, where we left off with the coterie is the coterie were in Chester Courts attempting to rescue a lady called Jennifer from the hands of what had been revealed to be First Light. They had accidentally called upon the prince's old name of Arlo and were currently facing down a demon version of Arlo. Said version of Arlo did a bit of taunting, a little bit of talking, and Alyssa got bored of this and transformed into her beast form, ready to take on said form of demon. He laughed, he snapped his fingers, and the coterie all fell into a labyrinth, and they were all separated. They all ended up in different scenarios, and I'm going to read these scenarios out as if they all happened at the same time, rather than the breaking off into each little section, because then you just get lost. So, we'll start with Elizabeth. Elizabeth fell into a labyrinth where she could not activate her powers. She wandered straight down this labyrinth and walked and walked and walked until she got fed up and decided to climb the wall. Now, the minute she touched this wall, it became flesh-like. Through the flesh, she confronted Gareth, somebody who she had diablerized by accident. She also saw some other faces, like Therese, for example. As she tried to climb over this wall, or tried to go through this wall to begin with, she found she couldn't. Excuse me. Next, she found herself staring at what turned out to be the antediluvian of Clan Gangrel. Elizabeth saw the antediluvian essentially become one with the earth. So that kind of explains where that came from. Not only that, but because Elizabeth had been clawing and biting her way through this wall, she kind of drank a bit of this antediluvian's blood without really noticing it. But she forced her way through, and she climbed, and she crawled, and she found her way out. Next we'll deal with Lex, who found himself in his club, the Velvet Glove, behind a set of doors. Now, whilst he was in this room, he could hear the people outside, the music playing, sounds of revelry and joy. The minute he opened the doors to go outside, he was confronted with fire, with the carnage of what happened at the club. And so he stepped back inside. He asked his snake-like companion the truth about where he was, and the snake gave him some answers. Not answers that he wanted to hear, of course, but some answers. Eventually, Lex did manage to get back out into what is essentially the main hall, and he ended up talking with the beast version of Arlo. Not only did he talk with it, but he tried to make a deal with it, because he didn't want to be what he had become. He wanted to be a kindred again. And as far as Lex was aware, the only way that could happen is if he took the beast that used to belong to Arlo inside himself. So he cut his wrist and offered it, and the beast said no, then taunted him, and started letting the lights go out. Lex, at this point, had given up, in a way, and was just waiting for the end, waiting for the lights to be snuffed out. at that point, because he'd been praying so hard to set, something answered. That something was Lucifer Morningstar.
Woo!
Who then decided to explain essentially what was going on, give him the fine truth of the matter, and basically asked Lex to stop trying to kill himself. If Lex wants to work for Seth, wants to do his bidding, he's better off alive. Much better use. So Lex kind of agrees, and he asks Mr. Morningstar for one small favour. Because never bedded Satan before.
Yeah, baby.
And off Lex goes. Alyssa found herself in a tomb-like prison, somewhere she had been before. In the room with her was Excalibur and the suit of armour she had seen before. She tried to put them on, but they didn't feel right, so she took them back off and went to the door. Now, knowing that she had broken through this door before, she thought she could start again, but she felt something was off. Something not quite right. And when she tried to call upon Lion within her mind's eye, she found Lion not there. What she did find was the beast. And when she looked down at her hands, they weren't human looking anymore. She was definitely back to being an Nosferatu. And the beast taunted her, told her that she was a killer, a murderer, always trying to play the hero. But Alyssa, pretty convinced in her own mind that this was all merely a trick, none of it was real. So she started punching the wall. What a mistake. Because she started getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. Alyssa hadn't drank in some time. She started getting through the wall, and then she could smell blood. And when you're on top level hunger, you don't care who that person is. That's dinner. But Alyssa still had hold of herself, and she knew that she didn't want to kill anyone again. So she picked up Excalibur, and she tried to kill herself, tried to commit suicide. But just as she was pressing Excalibur into herself, and just as she felt that pain, she stopped, because it wasn't right. She couldn't go through with it. So she went back to her armour, the armour that was not made to fit her current form. Put the armour back on, took Excalibur and broke through the wall. And on the other side of the wall, down the corridor, she saw her past self, her male self, on the floor, bleeding out. Completely dead. And the room opposite shattered open. There was nothing there, no one there to find. So she took the body of her past self and put it back into the recess in the floor in her room. She went and had a quick look around to see if there was any way out. And upon conclusion of there not being anything, she went back to her past self and bit into the wrist, drinking all of the blood from the body. And as she did, her skin broke, and she became the Alyssa that she had gotten quite used to. The lunar Alyssa. Once she finally drank all the blood, she was able to find her way out through the Umbra. Arlo, on the other hand, found himself in somewhere very familiar from his past. Found himself in his bar in Soho. Looked like he had a good lock-in. He went and checked the mirror and just looked like Arlo. But not the Arlo that he had come to know in the last few years. This was the Arlo before his time of being a kindred. There was a knock at the door, and he opened the door, and there was a woman who asked for a drink, so he invited her in, tried to make her a drink, and she put him under awe. She drank from his neck. And this happened again, and again, and again, and again, as he kept replaying the same few hours over and over and over again. At one point, he thought he'd try something else. He decided to willingly offer his blood to this lady. Told her that the meeting was destined how it was always meant to be. But it meant nothing. She drank from him and once again left him. Again and again and again. So for the final time, he waited. He broke a stool leg, turned it into a stake, and when he opened the door, he staked her. The lady who he was staking was his sire, Peaches. The lady he loved, the lady he spent a lot of his time with, come to admire. But he was sick of being rejected and he knew that he had to break the cycle. Not only did he stake her, but he drank from her and he became a kindred. But then he kept going and he soon realised that what he believed from before about the Ventru killing his sire was not quite true. It's at this point that all the coterie members all appeared at the exact same time on the grass just near Eaton Hall. And about 10 foot away, standing in a trench coat smoking a cigarette, was Michael Godson. And he wants to have a little chat. And that's where we left off.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that in-depth recovery. So, it's a cold night. You're at basically the same position where you fought the Fomori, the effective Anasazi. There's a lake effectively just to the right of you, and there's one further down to the left. Eaton Hall, if you carry on for long enough, will be to the right, and through whatever set of tunnels it was that brought you down to there. The guy in front of you's long black trench coat, reasonable looking dress underneath it, sort of dark black hair pulled into a ponytail. His skin looks a little more porcelain from the last time you see him. He's there with this burning cigarette in his mouth. It's the only thing that's basically lighting his face up. Takes it out, blows the cloud off to the side. You all look like shit.
I'm sorry, but the Matrix look is so last season. You look quite shit.
It's a fair shout.
Not really helping the best.
Oh no, I've established. Not particularly nice down there, is it?
Where exactly? Because I'm still convinced that that wasn't real.
He flicks his cigarette ash and walks a little way over to the right-hand side before looking down at this hole that looks like it's been dug from the ground upwards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys just got drunk, showed up in the middle of a field and dug a hole from underground out.
I'm sorry. Who is walking stereotype?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Lex. This is Michael Godson.
Who is Michael Godson?
He's another kindred who has a coterie around here.
Ah.
He
Nice
just
to meet
kind
you.
of waves over at you.
If you're not from the Clan of Shadows, then I am not. I don't even know what I am anymore. But I am not one of them.
He chuckles a touch. No, nothing that egregious. Well, let's just say I'm from the Clan of Kings.
Oh, come on. Do not give yourself fancy title. You are one who fucks in shadows. That is what you are. I can tell by the hair and the coat. You all have the same style.
He just chuckles a little. Yeah, sure, whatever helps you sleep during the day.
Indeed, sleep during the day.
Well, actually, I suppose with the way you are right now, the daytime's probably something you can get stuff done in.
Wait,
And what are we, the Chambra? What are we?
Not a. Stop calling him a La Sombra.
He really isn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh yes.
I mean, I understand the jacket's somewhat misleading, but
Yes, the jacket has the hair.
Also, what do you mean? You know, getting stuff done in the day.
hasn't occurred to you that the majority of you are no longer kindred? I mean, that one is. Points over at Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But you three, not one of you's thought about walking out when the sun's up?
You
I
have to
mean,
remember, though, she's only a gangrel. She's not a real kindred.
Wow.
Excuse me now.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's just rude.
I'm sorry. Is this still not happening in my head? I mean, I've just
No.
fucked Lucifer. This is all still
You
a bit
what?
weird. I
You-
just fucked
excuse-
Lucifer.
What?
It sounds like you had a better experience than me.
Yes.
Wait a minute, this isn't my dream. This is actually real.
Yeah, this is
Yes. And you've just blatantly insulted a lot of people.
Ah, shit, it's real. Sorry, I thought this was a dream.
Why is it so cold?
I was hoping you'd have no clothes if it was a dream.
because you're out here in the middle of the night and you're not wearing any clothes, kid.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Oh well, the nipples and everything. Oh, they
Stop
definitely are
looking!
alive.
I can tell you now, I don't think Jesus has any say in what's going. Never mind, I'll just leave you to it.
This is
Do
not
you want a
funny.
coat?
Yes, please, just give me a coat. Give me a coat. Please, just give me a coat.
He takes the jacket off and just throws it over without looking. One hand comically placed to the side of his head to sort of half block the direction.
Now you just look like a weird cheap hooker with a coat on.
Don't call her a cheap hooker.
Oh,
No, I'm not saying she is. I'm saying that's how it looks with a leather jacket.
well,
It
it's not
doesn't-
exactly like I want to look like this.
It's a black long coat, just for reference. It isn't actually leather. It's some
Ah.
It's a
sort
duster
of.
trench coat.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
No, let me finish. It's more like a sort of velvet in line with a sort of suede outline.
Ooh, that's actually quite nice.
Why does this keep happening?
This happens.
I think that's probably due to the repeated changing into a different form that
Yeah.
your clothes apparently can't handle. He just takes a puff off his cigarette.
Do seem to turn into a giant lion with quite some frequency.
I've done it twice.
That's a
Yeah,
lot
more
more than
frequent
anyone
than
else has
none.
done it.
Do you have a spare cigarette?
He walks over and just sort of pats out a cigarette and passes it over to you.
I lean in for a light.
He provides one. He then grins a little, looking at you. That must be weird.
Wow. This tastes better. I can feel my lungs.
I'm surprised that you were smoking in the first place. I thought, fire and all that.
It doesn't really bother me that much anymore.
No, but I mean, before this, takes another big drag on his own for stubbing it out with his fingers and flicking it away.
That's a good point. I have a cult somewhere that I need to sort out.
Can we not just?
Well, if you can
stand in
officially
the
call
middle?
it a cult.
Yeah, can we not stand around? Can we get inside somewhere? I mean, from last I knew, Eaton
where-
Hall was burned down, but
So
You see Michael nod.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's rubble. It's foundations at best.
I'm sorry, my club burnt down as well, so I have nowhere for us to go. Where's Jessica? Jessica, where are you?
Yeah, where's Diamond?
Neither of those are around. You've not seen Diamond since, and you've not seen Jessica.
Look
Let-
after herself
let's-
with her magic fingers. She has got magic fingers, let me tell you that.
By
Oof.
the way, her name's Jennifer, not Jessica. You inept fuck. I've got
Is
it
it?
written down. It's Jennifer.
I mean, it's Jennifer for the first time was said,
Mhm.
but maybe the name's actually Jessica.
Actually, for the record, that's
You could
neither,
be-
that's neither a name. I just like that name. Okay.
Fine.
I mean, considering the fact that she was up until a point basically, property of a cult, her name is probably somewhat fluid.
That's a good point. Who's going to feed my ghouls now? Oh god, my ghouls are stronger than me now.
He just
Are they?
shakes his head. Probably not.
I've not tested myself yet. I need to test myself out properly. We'll see what this new
What, you
baby can do.
Did you not test yourself well enough, or you were fucking Satan?
Oh, that was just my usual skills. I mean, I swear that fallen angel can get everywhere, and the
I
things he can
don't
do.
want to know.
He makes his tongue forked in the best ways. I mean,
I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna put my hand over Lex's face.
When it turns into the snake, or the anal
If you don't stop talking, Lex, I will crush your windpipe. And you need that.
Michael looks over at you. I think the real worry is probably the fact that if you don't move your hand, he's probably going to lick it.
Ah, no.
tongue comes out a little bit and pokes the hand.
Ah. Lick me.
Licks a bit harder now.
Can we get on to the serious problems at hand here?
Not the
I don't know about anybody else, but one, the giant hole that's through. Well, I'm not going to go into that right now. Two,
I wouldn't go into that if I were you. Hmm.
I think he might need to let speak, Alyssa.
No. No, this is better for everyone.
Right.
Actually,
Anyway,
I agree. I agree with Alyssa.
somewhere indoors. Is the basement still intact? And I don't mean the normal basement. You know which basement I mean.
Oh yes, that should be actually. Presumably, I don't think they would have found it.
Godson just kind of looks at you guys for a second. Your house was burned down by the Second Inquisition.
They probably did find the basement and the
I
pantry.
can safely say there's probably barely foundations.
Foundations on subterranean levels.
Okay, I'll put it a different way. You're lucky the hill that it's on is still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's my record collection?
Everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
So, have we got an option of a car and somewhere else we can go? And
I
some
mean, I can
clothing.
arrange those things for you. It's not exactly hard.
I take my hand off Lex.
We don't want any favors from this one. We're not when we have the no favors, no boons.
You mean
Actually-
you literally have just basically said that some of your most recent favors, whatever they may have been, have come from, to quote, Satan himself.
Oh, they were
And
good.
I'm not as trustworthy.
No, Satan's very trustworthy. You just know that Satan's lying to you. And once you know he's lying to you, then you know that everything he says is the truth in his own way.
I'm regretting taking my hand off your mouth.
He loved you, really, didn't he? I can see that now.
Oh, the things he did to me. Oh.
Stop talking, Lex. Let us please
This is
tread
why you-
carefully and move on from this entire situation and find a safe place.
If you just had that, you wouldn't move on so quick. I can tell you. Oof, you'd definitely keep thinking about it.
My eye is twitching.
Please stop talking about fucking the devil.
Everyone make me a wits and awareness roll.
Technically, sometimes I fucked him, and then he fucked me. It was very fluid.
Awareness. Let's see.
Okay,
Roll
one,
2 dice.
Wow, 2 dice. And we are not aware.
Wait.
Yay, 2 successes.
Aha! 2 successes.
4 successes. Fuck you all.
Go off. I only have 2 dice.
2 successes.
Okay. you notice amongst you that every time you're mentioning this, you're just seeing Godson stifling a laugh. The more conversation seems to be going on, but you start to notice that a lot of the conversation where he's laughing is involving Lucifer.
Do you know sexy angel Lucifer, Mr. Godson?
Stop.
He's been called worse.
Not by me, he hasn't. I tell you that.
Stop it!
Actually, I'm very curious. 1 second. I'm going to summon my snake.
Okay, the snake crawls from behind your ear, curling out onto your shoulder before looking at you expectantly.
I'm going to call you Lucy from now on. I like you now. Now, dear Lucy Snake, do me a favor. Tell me Michael Godson's deepest, darkest secret and whisper it to me.
You see Godson just look at you with a bemused expression on his face. The snake just kind of turns to look at you, nods, and then scurries down your arm and off into the ether.
I just look at him and smile.
Godson returns the smile. 5 seconds later, the snake comes back up, crawls up your ear, and just whispers the phrase, "Data not found."
Oh, damn it! I just look at Godson and go, interesting.
And he's been called that a few times as well. Me too, I suppose.
I do not have the energy to deal with anything right now. Can we please go somewhere so I can put some actual clothes on?
If someone gives me a phone, I can try to get some security with my ghouls. They'll put us up.
What phone? They've all been destroyed.
I'm sure this one has a phone,
slash-
don't you, Michael?
Okay.
So
let me put
Michael's
this
kind
in-
of looking at Elizabeth for a moment here, going, "All of them? All the phones in the world?"
No, all of ours. Let's put this in perspective, Lex. If you start contacting your group, your cult, whatever you want to call it, when we've still
Pretty
got
sure he
first
said cult.
light, when we've still got first light out there, who are probably looking at your cult quite in depth, will
wonder
probably
why.
bring them down on us. So let's avoid the phones, and I'm not one for normally saying that.
That's the only way I can get someone to sleep. That's the only way I can. I have no money on me because I've just been, I don't know.
We're creatures of the night. Well, at least I still am. You all were. How hard is it to hotwire a car and go take some money from somebody's pocket and then go book a hotel room?
I used to smile at people and they used to give me stuff. I don't have that anymore.
Godson, please, can you just help us out here, please? I really, I'm gonna end up murdering someone in a minute.
You need to work on your anger issues, Alyssa.
Oh, I had a way of working out. Unfortunately, it's been burnt to the ground. Can we please go? Godson, please, anything you've got.
Anything above 3 stars. I won't go any of those in
Lex,
3.
shut up.
Okay.
All right. Sheesh. Fine, I'll sort you out. You see him pull a phone out of his own coat and click it down.
If it's a Holiday Inn, I'll scream.
Jen? Yeah, found him. Yeah. Yes, the Chuckle Fox, I found them.
Is that your name? Is this the coteries name, Chuckle Fox?
Shut up, Lex.
No,
Huh?
most definitely not.
Good.
He presses the phone to his chest. Do you guys mind? I'm having a phone call right now. Also, Jen says
Walk
hi.
over there.
Hi, Jen.
I go,
Uh-huh.
We're in a fucking.
We got a safe
field.
house for these guys? Right, okay. Yeah.
I need to have a bath. I smell.
I mean, it's a little on the nose, I think.
Mm.
Oh, right, yeah, all right, okay, fair enough. If you think that's the best way for it. And yeah. All right, fine. Speak to you in a bit. All right, kids, let's get going. You see him snap his fingers, and all of a sudden you're stood inside a church.
Wait, what? Huh? What? What the?
I'm not even
What
gonna
the fuck?
question it. By
Well-
the way, AJ, do I still have Excalibur on me?
Yes,
Yes.
Excalibur is very much still on you.
Still very
Wait,
much
wait,
in my
wait.
hand. Excellent.
Wait, Michael Gods, you are a fucking angel, aren't you?
By Jove, I think he's got it.
Now, listen, I've just fucked a devil. Do you fancy?
No!
Yes, that was my brother. Could you not?
Do you fancy a quickie in the moment? I've not had an angel.
Lex.
I want to go
Lex.
two
Shut
for
up.
Lex,
one night.
not the time.
Digging a hole deeper than the one that Godson just bust us out of.
I mean, if we're being fair, you guys have already just stated repeatedly you want to both murder, rob, and half a dozen other things. You're all kind of in a bit of a hole
I'm not
celestially.
saying.
Just saying.
I
No,
just want
no,
a
you
fucking
didn't
angel.
say anything, oh Prince bathed in ash.
Well,
But okay, later you and me can,
Probably not, but thank you for the offer. He just kind of waves that one off. You're inside. Don't worry, we'll sort you some clothes out. Give me a minute. He walks over to the
Lucifer would fuck me.
the pulpit. Starts looking around. Ah, yeah, these'll do. Walks out and just throws you this black bundle, Alyssa.
I catch it with one hand, and then I start to inspect it.
As it unfolds, it is a nun's habit.
Oh, that's so cute. You look like a chastity person. Oh, you are a chastity person. It is good for you. Why am I French?
Oh,
Yeah, I've been questioning.
me.
He just gives you this moment's look of, I'm sorry, I've not had time to run out to the store.
Oh, fine.
You're an angel,
Everyone,
just
look
make
away.
me-
I'm gonna get changed.
I don't look away.
I look
Lex.
away out of respect.
Yes?
Look away if you value your new life.
This is my damn dream, and in my dream, I get to see as many naked people as I want.
This is
I
what-
glare at Lex.
Right, Lex, if this was a dream, you'd still be a kindred.
I still can turn around. Goddamn logic.
Michael, on the same note, doesn't particularly look away. He's not really looking, but he's not really forcing himself to look away.
I
Where's
very
the net?
quickly whip the coat off and try to whip this thing on as quickly as possible.
Quickly, yes.
Noting
kind
I
of
have never
glances
wore a
over
nun's
for a
habit
moment.
in my life, so I have no idea how that goes.
He kind of glances over for a moment. That bit pulls up, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I got it.
Oh, of course, you know that. All the nuns you go and have words with at night.
Don't know what you're on about.
You're an angel.
Kind
You
of
know what I mean?
Pulls at his collar a little.
I bet you're just like Zeus, aren't you? Was Zeus real?
That's a complicated theological story that I'm sure I'll be pestered for eventually, so you'll find out at some point.
Ah,
Okay,
right.
well, now what?
It
Good
looks
question. Now
lovely.
what?
You look so holy in that, darling.
I feel ridiculous.
Are you wearing anything underneath that?
No, wasn't that partly the point?
Nothing. I just have an interesting mindset. I'm working with it now. It's fine. Don't mind me.
Michael kind of looks over at Lex. Yes, because the nun had underwear there. Just
I'm-
looks at you for a moment.
I'm just gonna walk away from this group and I'm just gonna go set myself on a pew as far away as possible and I'm just going to fucking zone out. I have just lost it.
It's a reasonably sized church. Decent sort of coloured stained glass windows depicting out various scenes of saints and other such. Elizabeth, it doesn't burn. Contrary to popular belief, it would appear that hallowed ground doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
Ah, that's excellent.
It sort of has the main set of pews, then it has one sort of lectern, and beyond that is an area for sort of the choir, and otherwise there's a set of doors to the right and left that seem to spiral up into possibly some sort of a tower. It's closer to a bit of a cathedral than it is an actual church, I suppose. It's a decent size.
Mr. Prince of Ash, or whatever you're calling yourself now, go
Yes.
sort out your girlfriend. She's upset. You got to do the boyfriend thing and go make her feel better.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm I didn't realise that the person that upset her was the one that gets to tell me what I do.
Well, yes, because I'm obviously more of an expert on human relationships than you are, since I spent most of my life manipulating them. So go and make her feel better. Go say something nice and put your arm around her or something.
Oh, you clearly don't know a damn thing about me. I'll go over there anyway.
Michael just kind of leans in a little bit and goes, and notice how he still did it.
I told you, manipulating people for centuries.
Yes. You can always see him making a sort of mental tally of transgressions and otherwise in his head.
I look at him and go, while they're talking, there's a confessional booth, we can have a quickie in there.
I'm good. Dad
Right.
basically doesn't particularly like things involving that level of carnal sin. It's why the brother gets away with it.
Oh, he can get away with whatever he wants.
Yeah, I keep hearing that
it's
about him.
still not the time, Lex. We have a million and one fucking problems to deal with. We need somewhere to stay. Church is nice, but we need cash. We need.
Elizabeth, all I need to say
Yeah.
is it adjusted when he wanted the length and shape. It moved to his will. Oh,
I don't need to know.
like a snake.
I really don't need to know. I'm still getting over the fact that we're literally standing on the antediluvian of my clan.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, not this part. Michael points out, just kind of like points at the floor.
Yeah.
There's not this bit.
Not this bit. The planet itself.
Fuck.
I mean, that's a generalization. The planet was here before her.
Yeah. She went into the planet.
Well, fuck.
You had enough of that.
I'd never have enough of it.
So that's a thing.
There we go. Shh. I want to try an earwig on those two.
So, as the earwigging begins, what is not Arlo and Alyssa discussing?
I'm just sat next to her. Yeah, I get it. It was horrible down there, and it's just as bad up here.
No, what happened down there wasn't. I don't know what you saw, but what I saw wasn't anything that I haven't already seen or didn't already know. So.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think
Prince, could you please make me an insight and insight and wit check? I think.
Insight and wits, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my insight? Ah, yeah, yep, got it. Insight and wits, going right up. So,
Okay, yeah, 3 successes on that. 4 successes. So she's probably telling the truth. It's probably something she has seen before. However, don't be fooled for even 2 seconds. It is definitely affecting her because deep down you don't know this, but she did try and kill herself.
doesn't seem like it. It might have been something you've seen before, but it goes deeper than that, doesn't it?
No. Why would you
No.
say that?
Because you're. I can tell when you're trying to hold it together. I mean, what happened to me down there? I've found out one of the most horrible things that I think I've ever known, and that includes staring into the heart of oblivion itself.
Wow, something on par with that. I don't think there was anything worse than that.
Well, I guess realizing that you're the reason for everything that you've beat yourself up about for all these years is it's kind of on par with that.
Put your damn arm around her, you fool!
There's this slight tearing sound as a packet opens, and this pack of popcorn is slowly passed to Lex.
Thank you.
There is just no privacy.
No, there isn't. There's never any privacy, is there?
Just kiss her, damn it!
Oh my god, Lex! Shut the fuck up!
Trying to help. Sorry.
I'm just glaring.
Michael shoots Lex a sideways look. Really don't like you at the moment.
I'm trying to help them. They're terrible at this.
Oof.
Look, at the end of the day, right now, I just want to have some real clothes, not somebody's. Yeah, I don't
Not
really fancy.
somebody's dirty habits.
You actually hear a ha from Michael.
That wasn't me.
That is such a terrible pun. Part of me wants to slap you.
Oh, do it. Please do it.
Part of me wants to let you.
I suppose we better actually try and sort this stupid ass mess out.
Yep, definitely. The sooner we sort it out, the sooner we can actually kick back and have 5 minutes to ourselves for once.
Giggity.
Shut up.
Even though, you know, Lex kind of told you to come over, thanks.
I would have come over
welcome.
whether or not Lex told me to do it.
I know, but thanks all the same. Yeah, right. I'm barely keeping it together right now.
Yeah, I think we're all holding on to very, very loose threaded end.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're all in this boat, and we can all at least help each other.
At this point, I turn to Mike and go, "It's not funny anymore. Give us some privacy," and I walk off.
He just kind of watches you leave, looks down at the popcorn, looks up at the windows. Fair enough. And then just isn't there anymore.
Oh,
What? Did they just...
they just actually left.
Wow. Shit timing, because, you know, nothing's happening, but nice of them to leave, I guess.
No, well, nothing that they expect to be happening anyway. But
I mean,
whatever it is
Elizabeth
down
is
there-
still stood just there.
Yeah, but Elizabeth's nice and quiet, and Elizabeth doesn't intrude. Because Elizabeth
Bloody-
isn't a fucking peed.
Trying to set people up and help them, but never mind.
Elizabeth's currently just going through her pockets going, well, the e-cig survived. I don't know what the keys... Are these the keys to asylum? I hope they are.
I'm gonna
Hurts.
get up off the pew, and then I'm gonna turn to face Arlo, and I'm just gonna lean down and give him a quick peck on the head, and then walk off.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
All right. There's currently only 3 of you in this room. Where did you wander off to, Lex?
He wandered so far, he's just left. Legit,
Lex
just
is no
gone.
longer in... The Lex is no longer in the building
What?
anymore.
What have I done?
Where did you
Pay
wander
attention.
Where did you wander off to?
You all went quiet. I actually wandered off around the corner here in the shadows listening.
Oh, right, okay. You just come stalking out the shadows, having clearly not been totally far away.
Sorry, I had to pee. I'm not used to it, so I peed in the corner.
In the
Really?
church.
Technically, I'm now a Satanist, so it doesn't bother me that much.
Oh, Legs,
What?
have some respect.
And
I didn't really pee. I was earwigging to your conversation. That was me lying to make you think I wasn't listening to a conversation. I just said I was
I'm
lying.
gonna walk up to Lex and I'm gonna slap him across the face.
also, technically, you're not a Satanist, you're a Luciferian. Satanists don't even believe in Satan.
Well, I don't bloody know. I'm actually not very good at the religion thing. I always just worship sets, and now it's like, oh, I actually worship Satan.
You're not very good at the religion thing.
No. Oh, but.
Oh my.
Man has his own cult, and he doesn't even do well.
Well,
Let's move on from this.
Yes.
Well, you see, it's all this thing where you just make people. Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
So-
that's it. Right, let's just put a pin in this and never come back to it.
You slapped me.
Yes,
So-
I did slap you, and I'll do it again.
Your
Well,
hands,
how-
are really, your hands are quite soft,
Where did Godson go?
And the nuns out.
He went poof. Literally poof.
Godson!
Really?
Never been slapped by a nun before.
Godson, if you're here, or if you're near, can you please come back?
It's kind of kinky, actually.
There is no response. He did specifically leave because he was effectively asked to.
Great. Right.
Doop,
Okay.
Doop, 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 doop.
So,
We're in a church. Does anyone know where this church is?
I'm sure if we look on the notice board at the front, it'll tell us.
hang on, let me just get my sat-nav out.
Do you have a phone still? I thought we got destroyed all those phones.
That was sarcasm.
Lex, learn sarcasm.
Is there sarcasm in your cult?
Oh god, there's so much sarcasm in my cult.
Okay,
Then-
I'm going outside.
Okay. When you exit, you can see directly before you a sort of stone path that leads down a set of steps. To the left and right of you, there is what looks like an expansive sort of grounds to this particular cathedral. Beyond what's effectively the wall that boundaries it off, you can now see what looks like you're in a city. Just beyond that, just the most closest thing that you come across is what looks like some sort of bargain basement store. You have a main road to your left, and to your right, there's what looks like the beginning of sort of a warehouse district.
Where?
This seems to be a very weirdly placed cathedral.
Where on earth are we? This
Quest-
is...
Just look up to see if there's a sign indicating what cathedral this is.
Oh no, Elizabeth, you know exactly where you are.
Are we in asylum? And it's
You're in
not been-
Doncaster.
Oh God,
What?
we're in Doncaster, guys.
Oh, this is a shithole. Sheffield's so much nicer.
Why would you want to... Of all
Well,
the places to leave us.
I'm from here. I know exactly where we are. So we're on the outskirts of town centre.
Right.
On our right is B&M. Then there's the
Directly
bus
in front of you,
station and
B&M.
train station. Yeah, directly in front of us. Sorry. Yep. Is B&M. Oh, we've walked out that side. Yep. So we need to get some cash. It's night time.
Should we just go?
I'm just going to look at the clock on my vape. What time does it say?
Your vape is by now clearly out of power.
Well, fuck.
What day is it even? Like, how long were we in... wherever?
Follow me. I'm going to walk them into the bus station.
We're really going into a bus station with a nun? No offense.
It's a bus
Is that the
station. That's
the
not
weirdest thing
weird
that's
at
happened?
all. This is Doncaster. That's not even on its top 50th list of weird things.
I can't believe I'm in Doncaster. I feel dirty.
You and me both.
It's
Well,
not
you
really
should.
that bad.
Not really that good either.
Okay,
Fine,
look.
go to
When
bus
we
station.
went to the club, it was June 18th. It can't still be June 18th, can it?
No, and this is why we're going into the bus station, because there's large signs that say what date it is and what time it is.
We've just been to hell, and I've had sex with Satan, and you're thinking that time stopping for a bit is weird.
No. Lex, let's tone down all of that talk and let's just act like a bunch of people on a night out, because
let's-
that's what we're going to do now.
Then we should start
Yeah.
making out, Elizabeth. That's the only way for us to make sure we look like normal people.
No,
No.
that's what you want to happen. That's not
course.
going to happen.
Of course, is what I want to happen. This is the best dream ever.
I'm going to let Lex Hex keep talking as I start walking them past B&M and into the bus station.
Oh my god, B&M is a real place. Oh, that's disgusting.
It is, unfortunately.
Why would we be in B&M in my dream? Oh, whatever next.
I don't know. Maybe you're missing a D and an S.
Oh, I like you when you're kinky.
Oh. Well, it's nice of you to say that you like them.
Because let's not forget, you fucked like 6 of my cults, so you know you can't pretend to be a
Wait,
choir
what?
boy. Oh, he had it off with an orgy with my cult. Did you not know this? They told me the things they told me he could do. Whew, I was a bit jealous.
Wait, how do you know that?
You
And
don't-
just like that, he confirms exactly that it happened.
don't think I had ways of knowing these things in my own club.
You had cameras everywhere.
Of course, I had cameras everywhere. At least the footage has been burnt now, so I can't, watch it later for personal use.
Well, I suppose small mercies. Oh,
You could have watched it with me, Alyssa.
I don't think that Alyssa would have wanted to watch it.
Oh, I think she would have. I think she would have wished it was you, not the people they were with for that.
There is a very loud and deep thumping in your chest, Alyssa, as the rage starts to build. For those people around, you can see the claws starting to force their way out of her fingertips.
We're in
I'm
public,
just gonna-
Alyssa. We're in
I'm just going to
public.
turn back to the party. Guys, seriously, get a move on.
Yeah.
I know this place
Yeah,
very
we
well.
need to get to the bus station. I explained to you before we went to the party what was going on. I did.
So willing to me.
But we're going to the bus station now.
Alyssa, are you going to the bus station?
Yes.
Ooh, that tension there.
No response other than that?
No, I'm just gonna walk past. I'm just gonna catch up to Elizabeth. I don't even want to look at the boys.
You were
I
doing
understand.
so well, Prince.
You're making it so much more interesting.
I am actually. I am. This is my plan.
Well, we'll see where that takes you.
Nowhere actually. Nowhere.
Yep. And I say nothing and I just keep walking.
So
Head down.
after what's under maybe 5 minutes, you find yourself inside a sort of multi-sectioned off bus station. The area you're coming in from has a simple sort of crossing that leads you into a sort of almost tube. On either side, there are doors that would basically where the buses come in, and you would get onto them and then go away. Directly in front of you, there's an elevator, and beyond that, there on each what look like supporting pillars. There's the elevator, then a cash machine, and then what looks like a set of escalators that lead up. There are people wandering in and around. you would take the assumption that it is probably early evening.
I'm just going to check the screens with all the bus times and the tail of the time and date at the top of them.
The time is definitely close to, let's see, about 9:15.
And the date?
The date is the 7th of October.
AJ, could you give me a quick 2-second review of what all my powers do again? Because I've got a feeling some of them might be useful here.
Okay, yep. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just quickly re-pull up the PDF.
Thanks so much.
Because it's finding the damn thing.
Get them PDF game.
That's definitely not what I'm looking for. Exalted, no. No, we don't want the Luna book. Not yet, anyway. There we go. That's what I want. So, which powers would you like to know the most about? Please feel
So-
free to say as we go through.
Let me get me in a big page again. Which page is the one with all them on? Not on, okay, page 1. So, journeys, auspicious prospect of journeys.
Okay, there. Serenity, we don't want that.
Serenity's
Battles.
word shaping artist. I know what battles does. Battles lets me steal someone's stats, doesn't it?
Okay, so we're looking for
No, it's
journeys, yep.
Yeah, journeys, auspicious prospect of journeys.
Auspicious prospect for journeys. You are attuned to the 10 of the world's desires where journeys and travel are concerned. It is a sort of sixth sense that tells you when you really ought to undertake a particular journey or in what way you should best go about it.
That's the direction one, isn't it? Right, cool. And then Serenity, world shaping artistic vision.
World shaping artistic vision. This is the one that basically you gave yourself an extra speciality on something.
Right, cool. That's the one.
That means that you're succeeding on 5s, not 6s.
Cool. Battle any direction arrow lets me bullet bend. I remember. Secrets, see note. Secrets, is that the one that lets me?
That is the one. There's a lot of them in it, so you
Okay,
should,
so
if you
I've
check your notes, see 3 separate charms in there.
Okay. Endings, wise choice.
Wise choice on endings.
Sorry about this, guys.
It's all good.
Very
You
good.
spend 1 essence reflexively to learn which of an array of options will lead to the best short-term outcome.
That's the one.
It only evaluates the immediate future, not long-term or cumulative repercussions.
So all I remember for secrets is one of them is the one that lets me steal someone's stuff. Because where's notes? Where do I find notes?
Front page,
Front page.
bottom left.
On the left. Oh god, I'm terrible at this.
Give me a sec. It's under more.
More.
So you click more,
Get more.
and then you go to page 3.
I see. Thank you. Actually, okay. So, animal power, secret charms, excellent of the forbidding manse.
So, excellence of the forbidding manse. I'm back in battles. Don't want to be there. I want to be here. You select an ability when purchasing this charm, or selection abilities, which equates to academics, computer, investigation, larceny, occult, stealth, streetwise, and subterfuge. And you may spend 1 essence to add your essence rating in dice to all rolls for that ability.
Right.
Or you can use it to decrease the difficulty by 2. For 1 essence of willpower, you would get both.
Perfect. Efficient secretary techniques.
That's the snake.
And Sidriel Shell Games is the one that lets me steal people's dice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, cool. Thank you so much.
Steal a point of one of the values from someone's dice to add to your own.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, as you've probably been able to see, I believe Amy has been generous enough and stuck up in the Vampire Masquerade, the Doncaster bus station.
Oh,
Yep.
yay!
Well, the only picture I could find of it. It's really odd, but that's what it looks like from when you're getting on a bus.
Thank you.
I mean, if we're being fair, that's probably got a lot to do with the fact that people who are looking at pictures of bus stations are probably trying to bomb them.
Yeah, fair.
Question: depending on how this night goes, we might bomb it too.
We're not bombing the Doncaster interchange.
Depending how
You
the night
say that.
goes.
Wait, I think I've been there before
I mean,
because the mega bus comes in there.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, it
it
does.
does.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so you managed to make your way into the sort of cold and air-conditioned white, blue, and grey set of elongated rooms. There are chairs, well, seats pretty much everywhere. A variety of other facilities, standard transport array. There's toilets and other such. What are you doing the second you walk through, other than attracting a lot of attention?
I'm gawking at the fact that it's the 7th of October.
Elizabeth is checking her pockets if her bolt hole key is still there. We're back in Doncaster.
Is there anyone
It is not.
attractive around?
Bollocks.
I think you're forgetting where you are, but yes, there's one or two small, attractive sort of people in the area. Not as in ungodly, drop dead, supermodel status, but there are people who have each their own individual sort of looks about them.
I'm going to go to the one who looks probably the most bohemian and go over and chat them up.
Okay.
I need to see if I feel got it.
You see Lex sort of wandering off towards a group of people. It looks like it's mostly consisting of two guys and a woman. The woman is pushing a pushchair. The two gentlemen are, in some way, shape, or form, quite clean cut. They look like they potentially, from all the reputation you've heard about Doncaster, might not even belong here. One's relatively tall with short black hair. The other one a little bit shorter with sort of dark, what looks like dyed failed blue. Looks like it's faded out a little bit. The woman is a bleach bottle blonde, from what you can see, who is just smiling attentively as those two are discussing something.
And she's got a pushchair. This is going to go so wrong.
She does, in fact, have a pushchair, yes.
Right,
Is anyone going to make an attempt to stop Lex?
Grab Lex by the arm. Lex, now is not the time. We have to get somewhere. I came in here to find out what date and time it was. We need to move.
But I need to practice. It's been a while.
You can practice later. I will show you the nightclubs when the time is right.
Fine.
Right. Okay, so from the bus station, we'll take the escalators up and go through the French gate, and I'm going to lead them to the.
Basically, as you enter the escalators, heading up them, it opens up into a sort of large, overextended room, almost in an L shape. You can kind of imagine if this was a circle, and there is an extending corridor up to the north, an extending corridor up to the west of you. In front of you looks like what's part of a food court. There appears to be what seems to be a pub not too far beyond that, but it does also kind of move down on a set of escalators, and you can see from the signposting that way leads to the train station. To the left-hand side, it then opens up into what is basically a continuing corridor directly ahead, or a continuing corridor to the left that makes up sort of a rectangle. There are various different shops and other such in and around here.
Several
where we
pictures
were
there
heading,
for you. So I'm going to lead them out past game, round and down the second escalators, out of the French Gate Centre, and take them up to the Lazarus Court offices.
Okay. So you're brought out of the French Gate Centre, which is the name for this particularly large sort of shopping area. and are on what is a sort of cobblestoned path. Various trees left, right, center. A couple of which look metallic, look like they've been put up as sort of like works of art in the area. Everything looks a bit sort of cheap and naff. Again, the place you've come out onto is just a sort of main sort of street. Looks like it's mostly used for pedestrian traffic. Left and right of you is just more shops, more shops, more shops. As you're looking off to your left, there is a particularly large clock tower, which does confirm the time now at about 5 to 9.
Right, so I'll lead them up through to Bank Street to Lazarus Corp offices.
Is anyone doing anything while this is occurring?
Sulking.
Is that just all three of you?
I'm just looking around. I don't know where I am. I've never been to
Yeah.
Doncaster before, so I'm just keeping my wits about me.
Yeah, same.
It's a relatively simple-looking town, but it's a town that's almost a city.
Yeah.
And you can almost feel that just by wandering through. Okay, so you carry on towards Lazarus Course offices, yeah? Which remind me?
So up past the the Mexican Tex place, I can't remember the name of it. Into
Give me
where...
an actual landmark.
God, why is my brain fucking crap with me right now? This is my hometown. I should know this. So it's up past.
I
then
mean,
you've
you're
got...
in it.
Yeah, I know. Then it's straight down to the Lazarus Cup where the all-you-can-eat buffet was and Corky's, etc.
Okay, do you want to give me a landmark I know? Just saying. Are you basically trying to get through the little thoroughfare which has the bars on either side of it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. So as you come out of the French Gate Interchange, you are brought in an almost fevered manoeuvring by Elizabeth as she moves you down the road to your left, brings you onto what was basically the actual main street. You can now see where there's the ability for cars to join in. On the left and right hand side, after a certain portion, there's banks, and there are a variety of different sort of shops and restaurants. Everything looks relatively lively. You're definitely getting some looks here, Alyssa. In fact, you would go as far as to say that this was potentially the most public route that could have been taken.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something which you're still staring at the back of Elizabeth's head for.
Yeah, I'm just not looking. I'm not engaging. I am already blushing a very deep shade of red.
Smile and blow some kisses.
So we have one who is basically attending themselves as though they're some sort of celebrity. We have a fabulously dressed gentleman who is basically walking close enough to a nun that this looks like some sort of carnival act. And it's being power led off by a redhead in a business suit. Yeah, you definitely don't stand out at all. So as the entire world seems to be watching you pass, with a few people kind of pointing and querying the second they see the nun's habit, you're taking up a larger, wider street that looks like we're starting to get into an area that has things like fast food restaurants and otherwise, before eventually, after taking literally the road through the majority of town in its most populated areas, you are taken off to a side that is surrounded in an undercovered sort of area by bars and people who are drunk.
Where on earth are you taking us, Elizabeth?
It's definitely a scenic route.
My employer, my previous employers who sent me to Chester's business so I can get my spare bolt hog key and some cash.
Freudian slip there.
Okay. So you head towards the Lazarus Court offices that at this time of night are closed.
Yep.
And what's your next move?
Find the back door. Get everybody else to watch out as I break in. Of course, watch for the camera. Find the camera first, because there will be a camera.
I have a strange idea. I could probably do this better than you now. Strange.
Try for it. Go for it.
Oh no! This is your show. I will happily watch to see it all go wrong. I mean, continue.
No, Lex,
Would you all, before this turns into what it's about to turn into, make me an awareness and wits roll, please, for this entire walk?
Yeah. Got ya.
2 successes.
Wits and awareness.
3 successes.
Let's be fair, that's probably all you need is 3. As you have been walking, it would appear that cameras have been following you. Like perhaps the local police department have an interest in what the hell's going on. So while you can spot there is a camera that you could probably avoid to break into Lazarus Court offices, the one across the street on a pole is probably a little harder to avoid as it is actively controlled.
Okay, there goes that plan. We are not getting my bolt hole key today.
You could
No.
draw. You walked us all this way for a damn key.
Well, we're not getting into my home without it.
And why is that?
Because it's fucking hard. It's deadlocked, effectively.
You don't have a key under the
Are you
rug.
sure about that?
Okay.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Are we going to see some exciting Alyssa powers? This sounds fun.
Right, let's get off the beaten track then and go to my rather small building.
Which is where?
You know the
Well-
house already, AJ. We lived there.
Before we go, since we are being watched, I suggest we put on some sort of drunken revelry. So they just think we're a hen party or something, or some kind of weirdos, so they stop being so interested in us. So the only way for that happens is some of us make out and make us look a bit drunken.
What?
It's,
Can you stop suggesting that?
it's my dream, damn it, and it'll be how
It's
I
not
want.
a dream,
It's
lad.
not a dream.
It all
I
makes more
mean,
sense if I keep
let's be
saying dream.
perfectly fair here. In regards to this coterie, trying to do a make-out routine to get away from police attention is kind of your shtick,
It happened
and
once.
got you into a lot of
Once.
these
It
problems.
happened once,
One time.
and it wasn't
One
even the
time.
Yes.
police.
But it wasn't. It was definitely one time that Alyssa has since then never managed to forget.
It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this?
It was
I
only
look-
a kiss. It was only a kiss.
I look at Alyssa, give her a wink, and turn to Prince, and go, put on a good show, and go to kiss him.
Oh, God.
Wait, Lex is going to kiss Arlo?
After giving Alyssa a wink.
Oh my god, before he even gets there, I'm just going to punch him.
Without actually spending the essence, can I start to activate rapacious lamprey technique?
Remember, we're not
just to
supposed
make
to
a
be
start out of
using cameras. We're supposed to make it look good.
Before you even get there, I am punching him in the face.
Okay, so you right hook Lex. I would like a brawl plus strength roll, please.
Could I dodge?
Yes, that would definitely be a dexterity and
I just have,
athletics, please.
it's just Dex for me because I'm not a fighter. Wow.
Lex ain't dodging.
Okay, so Lex, you kind of close your eyes and move your lips in, and
Yeah. I do.
Arlo just looks down at you, and the slight growing of teeth starts to appear. However,
Oh,
Alyssa,
interesting.
this right hook that comes clean out of nowhere smashes into Lex's face. Now, what is your brawl plus strength, please.
I assume you're talking to me, and it's
Mhm.
6.
That's what I said, Alyssa.
I didn't hear you say Alyssa. It's 6.
Okay, so that is 6 superficial damage. Lex?
How? Do I half it?
No, you are not a kindred.
Dunk.
Ow!
In what is basically a one-punch man maneuver,
I think that puts me on ag.
Lex-
I've only got 5 health.
Yeah.
Lex goes out like a light and drops to the floor. However, naturally, not in torpor, not bleeding, not dying, just pow right in the kisser.
That's
Right.
gonna look great on camera, isn't it?
Right. Someone pick up the legs. We're going round the corner. We're going off the beaten track, and you know what house we're going
You
to.
do hear a sort of zzz, zzz, zzz as the camera starts focusing in.
I try to make this look like a normal drunken night out.
Yeah.
And now
Actually-
it does.
Because I'm right in front of Lex, I'm just going to pick him up, put my arm around him like I'm drunkenly stumbling back.
At least somebody got onto it.
So, you're picked up, Lex.
I'm
Prince, you
unconscious.
just... yeah, that you remember the light. You remember closing your eyes and then being unable to open them again.
What a kiss!
It's magical, isn't
it?
Took my breath away.
So, for those who are still conscious, what's the next move?
I'm going to lead them to the bolt house. It's the one we lived in, AJ.
I
Just to make
understand.
life easier.
I have a question for you, Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
What are your points in when it comes to backgrounds?
Resources for Haven 5.
Yes. And that Haven 5 was through the connection to
Yeah.
Asylum. So you don't have a house here.
Well, I had. It's probably not.
Yes,
It's
you did. How long ago did you leave?
when we left for Chester.
Which was,
A few months.
and I think you'll find it was before that.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's out of the question then.
You get about halfway down the street from where you are, pulling up to an area which is effectively a massive set of crossroads. To the left, there's the drunken revelry of town. To the right, there's a little more quiet as it moves into a sort of a sectored portion of Doncaster. And you get to about this point, sort of stop, look towards Alyssa and the prince, and quietly inform them that there is a very strong possibility that house will have been rented out again.
Mm.
Is there anywhere else, or do you know anyone here, Elizabeth?
Potentially William, but it's been years. Other than that, the only other way we can get attention from anybody is if we were to go to. It's not Co-op anymore. I can't remember the name of it. They changed it to. Fuck. The nightclubs and hope to find other kindred. And it's we're about 2 hours before the nightclubs open. Other than that, I'm not really sure.
Not sure what we're going to do for now. I think
We can't wander town because we look the way we do at the moment. All of the clothes shops have closed. My bank card's going to be next to useless because First Light will be tracing it. My keys are fucking useless here because they're going to be for Asylum in Chester.
Do you know what makes us look the least suspicious?
What?
If we just put Lex down on a bench and we just sit on a bench and pretend to have a couple of drinks.
We have no drinks.
Well, I'm sure there's a corner shop.
What are you going to do, rob them?
We have no money.
Turn out my pockets.
You don't have
There
any.
is less than lint in there.
Less than a mint.
No, less than lint. There's not a
Oh, less
a
than
mint
lint.
wasn't even on the equation. You had that little.
Oh no, not a lint. It would have melted if it was in my pocket anyway.
I can't believe I'm
Okay.
about to say this, but I might be able to swipe something.
Okay. I mean, I have a gun.
No! No!
Put the
Children.
fucking
That
gun
is
away.
accurate.
I didn't take it out.
Also, I'm in a nun's habit, so actually me swiping something will either be a terrible idea or a great idea because they might think I'm a nun and therefore not stealing anything. Or they might just look at me with instant suspicion because I'm wearing a nun's habit.
Yeah. Generally, nuns don't go into corner shops.
No.
So actually, I don't know. I've not really checked up on the behavioural patterns of nuns.
Weird that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not really my scene.
I'd think they
They
were just
do
like
move in
normal people.
herds. They do.
This is
Uh,
a disaster. We have no clothes, we have no money, we have no provisions, we don't have anywhere safe to stay. Godson has fucked off. We don't know anyone here.
You said something about a safe house.
Yeah.
it will have been rented out at this point. I've been gone
No,
too
no, no,
long.
no, no,
He probably
Godson.
meant the
No,
church.
Godson.
Yeah.
No, Godson said something about a safe house.
And I don't think the church is the safe house.
I don't think the church is the safe house.
I mean,
But we don't really have any other way of figuring out what the safe house is.
I guess
Where it
now,
is.
the church might actually just be the best place for us to go back to.
It might.
It's a lot less in view.
But it does seem that we are being watched, and I wouldn't want to stick around for too long.
Let's just get Lex and go back to the church.
Yeah.
take them back through the back alleyways to the church.
Specifically, the main way of doing it would be taking down the main road as the back alleyways to the church. There aren't any back alleyways that lead to the church.
No, but you know what I mean. From where we used to live, across the market, across.
Yeah. You extend the trip that little bit further to take them through the marketplace. There's basically an open air market that would usually be quite working in depth were this a daytime. Take them across the road and back to the cathedral. When you open the door, inside you see a perplexed looking godson just sat there going, "Where the hell did you all go?"
Well, you left, so we left.
Really?
I did shout for you. You didn't answer.
You wanted privacy.
Yeah, and then we were done, and I shouted for you to come back.
You were done, 10 seconds after I left then?
Yeah.
I gave you, at least the standard, 10 minutes that humans need.
We didn't want privacy for that reason.
Wait,
Well, that wasn't made clear.
What? No! Oh!
Not in the middle of a church.
You're
Kind
all
of points at
filthy.
the unconscious
You're all
Lex.
filthy.
He would have done.
Hate you all. You were all disgusting.
But
I don't know what I've even done in this. All I did was take you round to Doncaster.
yeah.
Wait, hang on. You went out around this town, points at the nun's habit, wearing that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and storm into that confessional booth where it's quiet and safe.
You storm into the confessional booth,
I mean,
pulling the curtain across.
This used to be my stomping ground. That's not the weirdest thing that's happened in Doncaster.
I'm taking it I'm not awake yet.
I have a question.
No,
Which
you are still unconscious, but you are drifting into consciousness. You're hearing bits.
Good to checking. Just checking.
Which
Right.
side of the confessional booth?
Damn
Anyway,
it! You're on the same mental thing as me.
anyway, now that I've confirmed that all of my ends for Doncaster are pointless and useless right now, what's the plan?
You just see him sort of looking there for a moment, blinking a few times for wiping his face with one hand. I get why she says chuckle fucks. I actually somewhat understand.
You've taken us to a church.
Well,
You
yeah,
stay in the
it's
church.
kind of the easiest place for me. And he just kind of points up and down to go.
Okay. Could you church hop? Is that what you do?
He just looks at you for a moment. No, I don't. Well, actually, I suppose I can go where places of faith or people who have the most faith are.
I understand. So you sort of operate based on people's belief.
Kind of, yeah. You've heard of an area that's been that's basically been described as godless or somewhat disconnected from the divine. Yeah, they're general places we don't go because of being godless and disconnected from the divine. Here, it's kind of his house.
Okay. So you can go to his house. Is this the safe house you were talking about?
I mean, yeah. Where's safer than a church?
Somewhere with actual security?
He takes a moment and just sort of tilts his head. You're starting to come conscious now by now, Lex. Listen, places like this survived, every potential invasion on this country. They are built to be fortresses. And
They were.
let's be fair, they're also somewhere that the Inquisition, for example, would have an issue burning to the ground.
Yeah.
What hit me? Oh.
Sort of looks over at you, kind of checks your jaw. I would guess a Luna.
Oh, it bloody hurt. Oh.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Just,
I give Lex a wink.
just be glad she didn't use claws.
Wait.
Speaking of which, why is she hiding in the confessional booth?
Wait, what? What?
She
Excuse me. I need to do something.
she doesn't like people.
I stumble over to the confession booth and go into the other booth.
Don't you dare!
Now tell me, child.
I follow Lex in.
Have you come to confess?
Get out.
It's all
You just
safe in
see
here, love.
A mild face palm from Michael.
I don't think the safe house is that safe because she's going to kill him well before my rage level. My frenzy hits in and kills him.
I grab Lex and try and drag him out of the booth.
So you're just jealous that I thought of it first.
No,
Fine.
Get out of here.
Fine. I got punched in the face. At least have some fun with her.
Well, you're going the right way for another one.
There is this moment of just utter disbelief on Michael's face. So, okay, you know what? Okay, that's a thing. That's a thing. All of this is a thing. Is there a
Unfortunately,
reason?
yes.
I mean, I brought you here because I figured it would be safe. I didn't realize we were going to play peekaboo in the talkie box.
Neither did I, but somehow here we are.
He just looks over at the confessional. So, Alyssa,
She's not talking to you, it looks like.
give me a sec. He just sort of turns on his back. You're basically sat in a place with a direct line to my father wearing one of his servant's clothes and otherwise being naked.
She's really
Just
mad.
thought I'd bring that up for you.
I think she's really mad, you know.
I just don't
He just
think she's
turns-
talking to us at the moment.
He turns to look back at the prince. I'm not even kidding. That's literally what she's doing right now. I'm trying to help her, but
Whatever
I mean,
you do.
it's nothing he's not seen before. I suppose he did make us all in this image, but
Do you think he'd? No, I don't think he'd mind.
Whatever
I
you
guess
do, don't think about kissing Arlo while you're in there.
there's just a small sigh from Godson. Right, okay, look, I brought you here because it was a place to get you out of the way. I've got a good mind just to put you back. And I get the impression, for some reason, that might even be preferable. But can we just have a moment and say what the hell it is we're doing and why the hell just gestures repeatedly at the confessional booth?
We presume that the person that was teleporting us was the one with the plan.
Well, you see,
Why would I have the plan?
Because you were teleporting us.
You see, Mike, it's all quite obvious, really, that Arlo has a burning love for Alyssa, and Alyssa has a burning love for Arlo. Now that this is now the Prince of Ash, they still have that love, but I think the Prince of Ash can't love
There
anymore.
is this moment where Michael just stops, and just turns to look at you, his head slowly inclining, and then going a bit quicker the second time you say Arlo.
Yep. You're doing it again. Stop doing it.
No, I'm doing it in the past tense rather than using
No,
it as
it doesn't matter what tense you're doing it in. I'm getting tense. And if
You
I get
can-
really tense, I'll stop you.
You can see the stained glass starting to crack. Very
Can
slowly.
we stop?
Can you not?
Are we not safe in here from it?
No.
You know, I remember something really important about my dream before the sex scene with Lucifer. I know who he works for. Your past self. He works for the Eben Dragon. Or the Eben Dragon. The Eben Dragon.
The Ebon Dragon.
The Eben Dragon. Michael, do you know what that is?
Michael just looks and shrugs and shakes his head. Nothing I've come across.
Well,
But to be fair, the things that are inside you predate me.
Oh, sexy. So yeah, your old self works for a big scary shadow demon dragon in the darkness.
Oh, that's lovely to know.
Thought I'd let you know.
Thanks.
What are friends for?
I guess telling
Saying
me,
names that have been cast into the void, apparently.
apparently so. Yeah, I would advise you against doing that ever again.
But you see, I thought you could only not call you it, but I was using it for you who you used to be rather than the you that you are now.
I'm
It's
pretty
still
sure
in
that makes
reference
no
to the
difference.
person.
Oh well, thank you. I know that now, so I won't do it again.
Okay.
But it still goes to the fact she's madly in love with you, and I don't think you can love anymore.
What on
Like,
earth gave you that impression?
Because you look quite morbid. I saw you at my club, and when that person was kind of dying, you just didn't care.
Yeah.
You seemed quite lacking of life more than you were when you were kindred. So that makes me think you can't love someone anymore. And she deeply, burningly loves you, and you don't seem to care.
I care.
It's like blinking as this soap opera unfolds.
Because let's be honest, Prince. If we want to survive this, you two need to either fuck or get over it. Because obviously, there's something here that needs to be solved. And I'm kind of an expert on love.
You're not coming across to me as an expert, I do have to say, because first of all, we haven't had a moment to ourselves. And the fact that you keep on standing here and watching us and expressing all of this, is a
Michael
massive...
literally just holds his hands up and goes, "I gave you 10 minutes."
He gave you 10 minutes. I gave you 10 minutes. You could have at least had it off twice by then.
That wasn't the point.
Then do something about it. Go in that booth now and tell me how you feel. Us three will bugger off to the wine cellar. But seriously, deal with this fucking problem before I deal with it for you.
Can I do an insight check to see if Lex is actually going to go anywhere?
Yeah, sure.
Just
Wits and insight.
Do I need to roll anything?
No, I just need you to tell. I need you once he's rolled it to tell me what I ask.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
and
First
then-
off, D10s, not D8s.
Oh, D8.
Every week.
You're kind of gimping your chances if you don't roll D10s.
Every week. He's still gimped. He's still gimped.
Yep.
Oh,
Lex,
he's
I have
definitely
one
going
important question. What would Lex like to eat right now?
What would Lex like to eat right now?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. Do I... What... Because obviously we've not talked about hunger. What would I like to eat?
And that is entirely your call. It's you're basically a standard human otherwise.
I want to eat something really greasy and bad for me and just feel my blood clot get,
Lex
solidified.
fancy the
So
kebab.
you won't
Yeah,
go
Lex
full
has-
McDonald's.
Yeah, full McDonald's. Something really bad for me.
Outstanding. Arlo, sorry, Prince. I can say it because I'm storyteller. Your answer is McDonald's.
Well, I look at Lex and I go, okay, I'll see you when you get back from McDonald's.
I blink and go, fuck, he can read my mind. Right, you two, we're going to McDonald's. Michael, you're paying.
I am the prime seraphim of my father's host.
I don't give
Wielder of the sacred burning blade. What makes you think I have cash on me?
You could fucking just do some angel shit and get me a Big Mac. Come on, let's go.
He just
do some angel shit.
sighs and walks outside, just pushing both of you before the door closes behind you.
Jesus.
Ah, that was the best line I've
That-
ever done.
Are you literally going to tease me by eating a McDonald's right now?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Just hold it.
Payback's a bitch!
Hold it in, Elizabeth.
Fuck her.
Don't vomit on your Nico's.
Fine.
Tell them you're on a diet.
But anyway, let us leave the romantic music.
The scene
time.
is vacated other than for Alyssa and the Prince Bade Dinash. Enjoy your spotlight.
I feel it in my finger.
I hate you
Okay.
so much.
I feel it in my toe.
I hate you so much. You're gonna.
I was going to
die in
go
real
with
life.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight, personally. I was going to go with that one, but
Oh,
You're all
Is
gonna
it-
die.
Can You Feel?
feel the love tonight. I don't know any more words.
Oh God, my soul is hurting.
This is your big moment, guys. Don't let us down. We're listening.
Well, if your soul is hurting, Arlo comes into the confessional booth.
James, pass me the popcorn, will you? Pass me the popcorn, will you?
Oh, I've got no popcorn.
Thank you.
If you have actual popcorn.
Not only do I have actual popcorn, I have, surprisingly, the player of Michael Godson here.
Nice.
I don't want Jinx to hear this.
In fact, I'm gonna take the headphones out so Becky can also hear this scene.
No.
Because this is a big emotional climax
Oh,
in many ways.
But all that's going to do is cause echo.
yeah. Put your
Yeah.
microphone on mute then.
Oh, good point. Don't let me down, guys.
Those sounds from the peanut gallery.
Hooray, you got to
Popcorn
put his
gallery,
microphone on mute. Good job. Yep. Arlo comes into the other side of the confessional booth.
I swear to God, Alex, if that's you again, I will put you down again.
No, it's not Lex. I got rid of Lex. Lex is gone.
God damn it, Kelly.
What?
Just me.
Checking General Gubbins.
Oh no. Why?
Oh no.
Right. That means I have to roll up. Bitches. Oh my God, no! Kelly! You die next.
She's not even in the game. How do you plan to kill her?
I'll go to the house. I know where they live.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's no. Lex is gone for a McDonald's. I don't know how I knew that, but like
I'm sorry, a McDonald's?
a McDonald's, yeah. Yeah, I know.
You know, I never even really thought about the concept of eating.
No. Do you know? This is a weird question. Do you feel hungry now?
No?
No.
Not at this moment.
I mean, I don't feel hungry either.
Hmm.
Like at all.
I mean, I'd say that's weird, but...
I also, yeah, I just don't get an urge to eat.
Hmm.
But that's not why I came in here. None of this is why I came in here. I mean, we're in a confessional booth.
Yep.
We've got things we need to talk about. We've been going through all of this crazy shit. And it all just comes back to the fact that, I mean, we've constantly been protecting each other, and that's why we keep throwing ourselves headlong into stupid situations like this, and it's all got very wildly out of hand. And all I've wanted for ages and ages is just some time to sit here and tell you how much I goddamn appreciate you for everything, coming to rescue me, just being a decent person, not ripping my head off. All of that.
I'm just trying to correct the mistakes that I've made. That's all.
I don't think you made any mistakes. I can't think of
Really.
any now.
Can't think of any mistakes I made. You need to take a good, hard, long look at yourself then, Arlo, because everything that has happened to you has been because of something I've done. Since we've moved to Chester anyway.
No.
Can I just interrupt for a second? You said Arlo, didn't you?
She did, didn't she?
There's even a sticky note on my computer!
You have no idea the level of facepalm I'm doing right now.
Oh, it can't be as much as I am. It really can't be as much as me. Oh my God. I literally have 2 sticky notes that say do not use Arlo.
What the fuck? We've gone to McDonald's.
I just...
They're in McDonald's, and we're in a confessional booth, and god damn it.
You know, you guys came so close. Actually so close.
This is why we can't
I'm
have them.
almost proud of you.
No, don't be, don't be. Everything, I told you, everything is my fault. This is the proof. Just do it. Just ruin my life. Just ruin it. Just kill me already. I'm ready.
You hear at the
Yes,
door, knock, knock, knock. More swiftly, it's more like,
Oh fuck! For fuck's sake, not again.
The minute I hear that door knocking, I am going to rip the curtain back, and I will spend an essence point, and I'm going to turn instantly into beast form.
you transform into your beast form, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you step out of the booth, and before you fully stepped out, you're already shapeshifted. This nun's habit just exploding as you form into the full war form of the lion.
Yeah. I would like to, upon hearing the knock, put 3 points of essence into what's that skill called again? Where is it? Where's my cheat sheet? Fuck you. Where the hell has it gone? I had it literally right in front of me.
Which brand?
Oh, Spirit Hardened Frame, I think it's called.
Okay. So you take a moment, activating Spirit Hardened Frame. You pull further essence from your body, and all of a sudden, your arms, your face, every part of you suddenly becomes hard like marble.
Yeah.
There is this sudden flicker of power around you as the burning cast mark just starts to emblazing itself on your forehead. As you're transforming fully, Alyssa, you can see the tattoos slowly sketching themselves onto your body and glowing a deep, deep blue. The door takes one more before it just opens, and stood there is the beast-like form of Arlo.
I'd like to spend an essence point and activate. Can't remember what it's called. Need to go into my notes. Nope, that one. That one. Are you there? Instinct-driven beast movement, which, if I'm remembering correctly, because I've spent an essence point, allows me to move at 4 times my speed for the duration of the scene.
Yes, and while that is the case, it does not allow you to move 4 times faster. Reflexively, it does nothing. It just gives you distance.
Yeah, but that technically means I can move that distance quicker, right?
That does mean you can move that distance quicker. It does, however, not make your motions, as it were, to attack him any quicker.
Damn, I was straight at him.
He just looks at the pair of you as you're sort of stood there prepping, essence starting to flare for going, "Did somebody say my name?"
No.
You kind of look over at Alyssa, who looks back at you, fully aware you've said the name.
I asked for a moment
Did
of
someone say my name?
privacy.
Yeah. Did someone say my name? No.
I'm literally not giving him a chance. I am running straight for him.
All right, you come as Arlo basically the prince raises a hand and goes, "Can I have a moment of pride?" You just see this storming cat figure go straight past you. Well, to the fun then. What are you gonna do?
I would like to grapple the fuck out of him.
All right,
Basically slam
then.
him into the floor.
Then what I would require from you at this point in time is an athletics plus strength roll, please. Counting in your beastman form athletic strength bonuses even. Which is on page 3 of your notes.
Yeah. Page 3. Well, we're saying that, but my strength's... Oh yeah, so it's 4 plus 4. 4 plus
Yeah.
4? Yeah.
So you're currently strength 8
Yep.
plus your athletics of 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to just take the assumption what you wanted to do, rather than use the abilities that you did, was to use the anima power that you have,
Yes.
flare your anima banner, and gain the extra to your initiative.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say that's happened instead. It looks like there's this burning blue fire around you. as you go charging forward. Roll me your strength and athletics, please.
So strength, 8, athletics, 3. That puts me at 11. Way. 10 dice. Which all of them be shit. Really? Fuck my life. Can I use a willpower to reroll 3 of those?
Okay, yes, you can.
So that means I'm rolling. Well, I'll roll my athletics and then I'll roll my other 3. Let's do it that way. And then come here, and then another 3. Fucking hell, that is just abysmal. How?
Successes.
2
Well.
out of...
Okay, you swing down, bringing your arms around this massive bear hug, and you just see his hands almost spectrally move before slapping the inside of your arms away. There is a moment where you can feel your arms go numb, and you lose a point of essence.
Jeez.
You see this ghostly-like trail of energy move around his hands and just feed into his body. Delicious.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, my turn. You see him sort of step his left foot forward and slam his fist as hard as he can towards your solar plexus. Was that not rolled? That has not rolled.
Nope.
What's that
See
about?
shadows.
There's definitely shadows, but nothing's come up. That's better. 4 successes.
Okay, what am I rolling to?
You are. Well, what? How are you getting around it? Are you trying to dodge? Are you trying to tank through?
Dodge.
Then it is your athletics and dexterity.
So my dexterity is 5, so it's 8.
Ooh. That's 3 successes there.
Come on.
5 successes. The strike goes just past you. You can actually feel it kind of ripple the air. And from where it passes by, you see it carry on for a little bit, sort of distorting the air around before making one of the pews just explode into fragments. I'd say it's probably the prince's turn.
Yeah, so while he's doing that, I would like to try, because he's being distracted with Alyssa, I would like to go around the outside of him. Come up to him. My turn. And I'd like to use my Whispers rating instead of my Brawl.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'd like to punch the shit out of him.
I mean, it's a power move. So you're looking at Brawl plus Strength, or whatever it is plus Strength?
Yep, so Brawl plus Strength. We do.
I mean, obviously not counting for whatever you've changed it to for your abilities.
Yeah.
All right, please stand by, because I'm having to
5 successes.
pulse. Bear with me a little bit.
That's every dice I just rolled was a success.
5 successes. Outstanding. You're gonna actually make him use essence. Plus side, he just gained some. So, it's been a while since I've opened this book. Bear with me.
Oh,
So,
God.
am I right? My Brawl is now 3 until the end of the scene.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
reads as it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do. So, he doesn't even try to move. He just looks at you for a moment as you come streaming in with this attack, which leaves you with how many? 5 successes, yeah?
Yeah.
Add your strength on again. Add your strength on again,
Yeah. Again.
and tell me. Yep, and tell me what your total damage would be.
So add my strength to what I just rolled.
Yeah.
So 7.
Okay, you push for 7. You push for 7 superficial damage.
Yeah.
He turns, grins, and suddenly he ricochets off of your blow. You can see the crack and push where the what looks like ribs go in a little bit. He comes to a skidding halt just off to the side, grinning, and now you can see at the center of his forehead this slow forming, dull, malfic green cast marks start to appear. He takes the pain, but 0 damage. He stands, cracks his arm around, and you can see the broken rib sort of break further until it's not there. Nice hit, me.
I'm not you.
No, not anymore. It's your move, Alyssa.
I would like to spend an essence and use armor rendering claw fist. Basically,
Okay.
I am going to fucking slash that bitch.
Go for it.
Let me just mark down that essence. Yeah. So I believe I'm doing strength plus my melee.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be melee.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm just surprised you're not actually using Excalibur, if I'm honest. The more I think about it.
Ditto.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I want to use this first, and then I'll make a decision.
Okay,
So
go for it.
4, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 1. 6 successes. Too far.
6 successes.
Yeah.
He stands there, sets himself up as you come streaking in with this. He is going to spend 15 motes of essence.
Jesus.
And reaches out and just catches your fist. No roll required. He holds on to it for a moment and just pushes down onto your knuckles as hard as possible. I would like an automatic athletics on its own roll, please, Alyssa. Due to the nature of this magic, it removes your strength.
2 successes.
2 successes. He is now going to roll his strength plus athletics. That is 4 successes. Your hand cracks under the weight of this weird power. His body starts to whip with this golden and green mix of burning energy, setting up as this almost horrifying aura that starts to take on this totemic personality behind him of a horrifying looking hourglass that seems to be slowly slipping away the sands of, you would assume, eternity. After a few more moments, there's this crack. You take 2 aggravated points of damage, and that hand is now unusable.
Out of curiosity, which hand was it?
Which hand do you swing with?
Okay, never mind. That answers that question. Thanks.
He pushes you back from it, messing the blood between his hands, and then will have his turn, as that was a reaction.
You're gonna die.
Just for reference, that ability he just used, that would have worked on you or a falling mountain.
Wow.
That was it doesn't matter what swings, that's blocked. He sort of grins a little, cracking his neck. Little moon sprite. Something that was so powerful in these nights, but still barely holds a candle to what they used to be. Allow me to give you a quick demonstration. Turns to look at Arlo and makes 6 attacks.
Ouch.
He spends 2 points of essence per attack and 1 point of willpower. He will roll his strength and brawl 6 times. Are you ready, Arlo?
I guess I have to be.
Pay attention to them as they come. First one's a 3.
3.
Second one's a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Third one's a 5.
Yeah.
Next one's a 5.
Yeah.
And the last one's a 4. Considering that was 10 dice a time, I don't think he did particularly well there.
No.
So, all of a sudden, this set of green streaks start to move out towards you as he takes up this weird sort of odd boxing form. He makes 6 direct attacks.
Yeah.
Each one leaving this sort of pregnant kind of green bolt in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
How are you getting around them?
I'm going to try and dodge them.
All right. Dexterity and athletics. Every one you attempt to dodge will remove 1 dice from your pool because they are cumulative attacks.
Understood.
So your first one is...
Am I dodging them in order?
Yep. Your first one's at 7, then at 6, then at 5, then at 4, then at 3.
Okay. Got it.
So let's deal with the 7 first.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on. Did I only roll 5 attacks there?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'll add another one. Sorry. The last one's 4.
Hey, 2 4s.
Yeah.
So the first one was
that
3
one
successes.
definitely hits. The last one definitely hits.
Yeah. The first one, you just managed to blink out of the way, seeing this sudden green bolt move past you and take out a portion of stonework about 3 inches across.
Yeah, I didn't even have to roll the second part on that because.
Oh yeah, there's a second part to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll
But
it?
you'd have still missed it. No, you still would have. It still would have missed anyway. So
Yeah.
next one's at 6 dice to dodge a 2.
Yeah. So there's the 5. Full.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
This
oh, no.
one slams straight into your gut. That is a total of 2 plus his essence brings it to 5. In your case, you do still half subdual damage, so you take 2 points of subdual, effectively. 2 points of superficial.
Right, 2 points of superficial. So I'm on 7
You feel
now.
something break from this hit. Time seems to be moving relatively slowly, like it's almost, again, to reference earlier, like a Matrix scene.
Woohoo!
Next attack.
Yeah.
Dodging a 5. 5 for 5.
5 for 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck all.
That is 8 half to 4.
Right.
Are you unconscious?
No, because I've got 3 extra levels of health.
Yeah, you do. That's a bonus. Right.
Now for the
Next
other
one
hits.
is
I've
another
got 4
5
against
dodging on 4.
Oh my lord.
That's a critical fail.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That one is 8 on its own.
Yeah, I'm down.
So do we go into talk?
Well, not as such. You're kind of up in the air as the rest of them start rocketing in. The next one, since you can't dodge, will do an automatic 7, and then 7 again. How much have you taken in total?
Well, the 7s are halved, yeah?
Yes.
How much have I taken in total?
Yes.
Because I started out at 9, I've now taken... $15 points of damage.
Alyssa, you just see this level of green blur deliberately looking away from you as pound after pound after pound of pressure is applied. It's almost like there's pockmarks appearing in the prince's body before he is launched across the room and slams into the wall. You can see the first signs of blood coming out of his mouth as he is pretty much dying.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to run towards Arlo and transform back into Alyssa.
Okay. You see him, the creature, just look down at you for a moment, looking at your sudden change before raising a brow. Huh. Interesting. Again, the ground around him starting to stain from the raw power of the aura. This cast mark in the top of his head is basically cracked now to the point in time where his head is almost split apart, and beneath it is a dull green kind of gem-like substance where his skull probably should be. His features have elongated. The sands are now coming slowly to a close. What else do you do? He doesn't seem to be optimizing.
Is there any way for me to stop Arlo from dying?
You do not have a knowledge enough. He's. It's going to take some time for him to die. He's a hardy man. But there is nothing you know about him, I would imagine. You've got some levels in medicine, so let's roll medicine and intelligence.
Okay, that's 7.
Whoa.
Okay.
Please don't fuck
Interesting.
me. Please don't fuck me. Please don't fuck me. Please don't fuck me. Please don't fuck me. Why would you do this to me?
3.
Them's were a lot of 2s.
Well, it was 2 2s and 2
Okay.
4s.
And
2 8s and a 7.
Yeah. You looking down are pretty sure that the extensive level of damage equates to every last one of his ribs has shattered and probably been put through a good portion of his major organs. Were he not exalted, he would have been dead from the moment of impact. You have no way of helping him with what you have here.
What's Beast Arlo doing at the moment? Is he just standing, essentially?
He's
behind?
watching, hilariously amused.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to face him, and I'm gonna, with my left hand, hold Excalibur up, which, well, I'm right-handed. I can't use that, so yeah, that's not gonna be very secure in my hand. But
Okay, what are you gonna do?
2 seconds, my TV is trying to shut down because it, like me, just doesn't know what to do.
If it's any consolation, your boyfriend's also trying to shut down.
And he might have finally become your boyfriend as well before it all happened.
Stop this! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
The tears are so delicious.
No, stop it! Stop it!
Fuck you and your McDonald's.
Mm, Big Mac and tears.
Just Elizabeth just sat there going, "Fuck both of you."
Yeah, at this point in time, the Archangel Michael and Lex are basically chowing down on like a giant, Big Mac meal. A Happy Meal has been placed in front of Elizabeth, but obviously Elizabeth cannot eat it.
Fuck both of you.
At least you get a toy.
I'm gonna look at Arlo, Beast Arlo, and with what strength and determination I have left in me, I am going to tell. I'm gonna tell him to leave us alone. Basically, he's made his point.
He tilts his head ever so slightly to the side, just to the right. It looks like it starts to almost crack out of place before his grin goes from ear to ear, and you just hear him say, "Do I look like the face of fucking mercy to you?" He then takes a run and goes to kick you in the head.
What a douche.
I try to block.
Strong. Punt kick for 6.
Oh my.
Damn, baby.
It's fine. We'll just get Elizabeth to give you blood. It'll be fine. It's all gonna be fine.
What am I rolling? What am I rolling? What's happening?
You would be rolling. Well, what are you doing? Are you
I'm
blocking?
Yeah, I'm blocking.
Then you are using melee and you are using strength. But since you are using an offhand, I'm going to give you a -2 dice penalty.
So sorry, melee and
You're rolling
dexterity.
5 to block 6.
Well, less than that. Is that no?
No, because your melee is 3.
Yeah, my dex is
Y-
4.
4. Because you are no longer in beast form.
Yeah.
And it's
so-
your strength that you're using, not your dex.
Oh, so yeah, I'm still rolling. Yeah, I'm rolling 5, aren't I?
Yeah. It's 5 to block 6.
Yeah, come on.
No,
Come on.
no,
Come on.
not even.
Oh wow.
Not even.
Jesus.
Well, that's a two. That's a 2
7
people down.
points of damage subdual to the face.
Her beautiful face. Oh, it's not so beautiful right now. Oh,
There is what basically amounts to a demonic size 8. Sorry, about a size 10 going into the side of your cheek as he stomps you into the side of the church.
it's a curb stomp.
Yeah, I'm down.
There's this cracking sound as you can hear the masonry to the left of you just go. And your eyes focused on Arlo, who is slowly bleeding from the mouth. Your eyes start to fade out into nothing
Oh, so
and
romantic.
drift away. You are unconscious.
Meanwhile,
So-
at McDonald's.
As for Team 2, who have... What is the correct level of privacy to give someone to have that conversation?
Well, hopefully they're going to start boning for a bit.
So how long is it going to take? How long are you going to be away?
Well, she's probably never had it before, so give them 15 minutes. Now let's go see what happens.
No. You've got to take into account we're in McDonald's, the busy McDonald's in town centre. It's going to take us at least 20 minutes to get your Big Mac meals.
I'm
and
sorry.
my pretend Happy
Have
Meal.
you seen me? Have you seen me? They'll serve me
No,
first.
I mean no, they don't because
I'm
it's
sorry.
machines. You've poked it, put it
Damn
into
I
it.
mean,
a machine and sat at a
a
table.
copious amount of what is it? Sid Real Magic says he's getting served first.
Yeah.
Fair
don't
enough.
forget who's paying for this. Hey, baby.
So how?
You just see Michael kind of like just push your head slightly away.
How long would it take Michael and Lex to eat their McDonald's and me to pretend to play with?
I'm savoring this McDonald's, bitch. I'm savoring my first McDonald's ever.
How long then?
So it'll probably take me 10 minutes to eat, and we'll give them 15 minutes. So 5 minutes after we finish. So 15 minutes McDonald's and walk back.
Okay.
10-minute walk from.
It takes
there to
about
McDonald's.
about 5 minutes, I'd say, if you put a pace on it. So about 20 minutes after leaving.
Then we listen obviously at the door to make sure they're not going at it before we go in.
There's about 10 minutes. Let's see. 10 minutes after leaving would have been the point in time where Alyssa would have passed out. So the whole 10 minutes of unknown action that is occurring within that church. As the door is pushed open and Elizabeth, Michael, and Lex. Sorry, I'm busy reading something here just to try and make sure I've got this correct.
Oh wow, that's bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Honey, we're home.
As you push the door open, you can literally see. The very first thing is the mildly reassuring sight that Alyssa and Arlo are holding hands.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, they're holding hands.
Unfortunately, they are crucified to the beams above the altar. So one of their hands has basically been nailed into the wall each, and they are literally holding on. Well, it looks like their hands have been tied together as they're sort of hanging like this, the worst Christmas decorations in the world.
Okay, even I found that's a bit too kinky for the first time. Oh.
There is blood everywhere, impact craters from where fights have occurred. Excalibur looks like it has been driven into the lectern, and looks like it's covered in something, possibly blood, possibly some sort of weird penumbral taint. Everything about the area feels like it's been broken, and basically all of the goodness within it has been desecrated.
First thing, look at Elizabeth. You're not hungry, right?
Above all of this, painted in blood, possibly Arlo's from the look of it, is the phrase, "Names have power, bitches."
So
Elizabeth,
first things
hungry?
first, AJ. I am currently on hunger 2. And that's a lot of blood.
This is not appetizing.
Ah, okay. Fair.
The blood
that's
in
fine.
here smells foul.
Right. That gets that out of the way.
You're good? You good?
I wouldn't eat that ever.
Fine. Give them your blood.
Well,
Your thing is the closest thing we've got to super healing in here. Give them your blood.
well, we need to get them off the wall first.
Well, that's what. Yeah, exactly. You're the one. You're the strong one. I'm just a bloody weird thing now.
Right, okay, so I'm going to climb up there and try get them down.
After a few moments, Michael kind of walks in going, "So, hey guys, what the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to deal with it unless you can click your fingers again and make it all better.
That's
He looks around and just kind of looks left, right. Yeah, I don't think clicking my fingers is something that's going to work here right now.
Okay, fine. I don't know what you can do, being what you are. Can you actually?
I could usually do considerable, but someone has taken some great effort to make this place somewhere that no longer has
Right.
faith.
Elizabeth, get on it. You can do your
Um,
thing.
Already climbing up to pull them off to get them down.
You see Michael come running past and head up the side to try and remove Alyssa from the wall if you're going for Arlo.
So, would you like the strength checks, etc., for me to try denail Arlo from denail the prince from the wall?
I mean, the question you've got to ask yourself is there a point in removing a dead body?
Oh dear.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not. It's fine. You can bring them back. It's not too soon. It's not too soon. Just hurry up and give them your blood.
Yeah.
The longer you wait, come on. Just rip it. Just rip them off the fucking wall.
Yep. Take them
Okay,
off the
you
wall.
pull the hand free. There is this horrible, tainted smell coming from the wounds he's got. You drag what is basically the second you remove that, he kind of swings as the tension gives away from one arm and just swings limply, cracking into the floor. Michael removes Alyssa's nail and she drops as well.
Right. Give me blood.
Yep. Slash open it, cut, bite into the wrist, and start feeding them blood.
To
Not gonna
who
do a lot.
first? In fact, I'm going to give you a moment to think about that question. Because the powers of the supernatural vitae are strong. They are some of the most essence-laden things going.
Give it Alyssa.
But you need to tell me which one of them you want to save, because you can't do both.
Give it to Alyssa first. Alyssa.
You are not conscious enough to make those statements, Alyssa.
Elizabeth, he's weird and an aspect of death. Give it to Alyssa. She's an aspect of furry lions. She probably doesn't live as long as he does in death.
I don't know what this is gonna do. The last blood I drank was the blood of the antediluvian of my clan. I'm going to
No offense, Elizabeth. Just give her fucking blood.
slam the wrist into Alyssa's mouth.
Okay. A pulse of raw power moves through your veins and into Alyssa's mouth. For a moment, it seems like it's not going to do anything. Alyssa, you hear the dum-dum, dum-dum, dum-dum of building rage as your body spitefully brings itself back to consciousness. Your eyes snap open and you see people above you. You are broken. You are hurt. It will take days to heal.
While this is going on, AJ, while I check the prince's pulse with no skill in medicine, but intelligence 4, obviously basic first aid. I check the pulse and check the airways and breathing and stuff. Just basic kind of 101 CPR stuff.
Complete nothing. Dead, cold. You go to put a point of CPR, but you realize he doesn't actually have any ribs.
I'm not actually trying to bring him back. I'm just trying to determine him.
Okay. He's dead, you move into a point where he's not in sight anymore, just because that occurs to you.
I lean and whisper, "Fuck you," and then stand up and walk away.
Okay. How far away are you walking?
Just basically, I'm just making it look like I checked him, and then I'm like, no, nothing I can do. Then walking away to see what's going on with Alyssa.
Okay. You walk up to Alyssa. You can
I'm-
talk, Alyssa.
Alyssa, don't move. I'm sorry. There was nothing we could do. Anyone we could save. I thought he could do something with his weird death powers, but don't move. Don't move. You're too injured. You're too injured. Just you don't want to see him like this. Not like this. At least let us clean him up. Let me ask my serpent. He can tell me anything I can do to bring him back. He can tell me any secret. I'll ask him right now. 1 second. And I summon my snake. Summon my snake.
You get this familiar green sort of serpent that moves out of your ear down to your side. Yes.
Lucy, my darling Lucy, please tell me, how can I save the prince that is Ash? How can I save him? Tell me how I can save him. Tell me.
He nods, dissipates. The longest 5 seconds that any of you experienced. A few seconds later, though, back he comes, and he whispers into your ear. Do you want this to be private information?
Yes, please.
I understand. I shall send you a message.
Thank you. You're fucking what?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Yeah, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. There must be something. There must be fucking something we can do. Fucking bullshit.
There is a hiss, half serpentine shrug, and it fades away.
Bullshit.
Mark
What's the
Fiersten's off.
Thank you. What's the point in having this power if we can't even fucking save him? I'm so sorry, Alyssa. I joked and fuck. I go sit down in a pew and just look distraught.
Okay. You sit yourself down. The silence echoing through the church is deafening. You manage to crawl yourself a little way towards Alyssa, but literally every bone in your body feels like there's been a fracture put into it. It seems after you got hit, you got stomped.
I don't care, I'm still gonna crawl. I'm still gonna get one.
You manage to get another 5-6 feet before you are very much at risk of just passing out from the pain.
Alyssa, you need to rest.
No, I need to get to him.
He's not going anywhere. Not anymore.
You manage to get close enough to get to his leg.
There has to be something. There has to be something I can do.
I asked the fucking snake will tell me anything, any secret, and he told me there was nothing.
I don't believe it. I don't.
Well, what am I supposed to do? It's the fucking snake of any secret. What's the point in these powers of secrets if they don't tell me?
Just help me get up to him. Please.
We've brought you back, but you're not fully back. Any more exertion, and you'll be
Lex,
dead
please,
too.
Just
Fuck. Fine. Elizabeth, will you help me, please?
I will literally walk over and pick Alyssa up. I've got the strength to do that, most likely.
I don't
And
have the strength.
Walk her to Arlo. and without even thinking, just try the blood on Arlo.
Okay, you open a vein, start pouring the Vita into his mouth.
Elizabeth, it won't work.
There's
Don't
not even a
waste it.
swallow reflex. He's not there.
I told you, I asked the serpent. It's my fault. I thought his power would keep him longer. I thought we had to save Alyssa first because of what she was and what he was. My fault, sorry. I chose you first.
What did the serpent say?
He said there's nothing. There's nothing we can do. Well, he said it in a more serpently, arrogant way, but I don't think that's very suitable for this tone. I'm sorry. AJ,
Mm-hmm.
I want to roll charisma and subterfuge on that. I really want to convince her there is no way.
I understand.
Can I use my powers to make my subterfuge better?
Well,
There's that one
let's
that makes
see.
me
I
special.
think that is one of the ones you can use.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly check because you have abyssal charms. My apologies. Charms. There we go.
Sorry, John.
No, that's fine.
I didn't expect that to happen.
You can spend a point of essence to add your essence rating, which is a total at the moment, I believe, of 3 for the actual essence dots.
Yeah.
To all dice in this rolls, you can spend an extra point of willpower to also make those rolls succeed on a 4.
I'd like to do that, please.
All right.
So, my
So your total dice pool
5
is
subterfuge, 3 is 8. So,
you're
normally
rolling
8.
11 dice.
Right.
11 dice succeeding on 4s.
So
you're going to need to pay very close attention.
That's
5,
10.
6, 7.
7,
And then my last one.
8.
8 successes. Alyssa, would you roll me wits and insight? You've never really taken Lex as a person who believes necessarily in lying to you. The truth always seemed funnier. You have no reason to doubt him now.
I'll be outside. You need a moment alone. Michael, Elizabeth, shall we give them some time?
Michael just takes a moment looking over the situation in front and nods a little and walks out.
I walk out.
There's an element of fury on his face as he's looking around the church, looking around what's been done. You, for a moment, as you get close to him, start to feel very warm. Elizabeth, you get the impression if you get within 4 or 5 feet of him, you're going to fire frenzy.
Yeah, Elizabeth's going to walk around and go outside.
You're going to walk around the literal embodiment of the sun. Okay, that's a good choice.
And go outside and punch the closest tree as hard as possible.
I want to enjoy this weird feeling of warmth I'm not used to.
As he leaves, you see him just step out into the night, and then all of a sudden he's not there. There's no transition, no flight, no disappearing. He just stops being there.
That's not a good sign.
It's almost like he's left for somewhere.
Elizabeth, what do we do now? You're the strongest one of us right now. With Prince gone, Alyssa is in no condition. I don't have power of strength, of fighting, of anything useful. You're our best hope. It's up to you, Elizabeth. You need to
While
get us
Lex is
safe.
saying everything, Elizabeth is just punching trees down.
I'm happy speaking to you when
You-
you're punching
you
a
took-
tree down.
2, 3, 4 hits, and that tree starts to topple.
I tap Elizabeth on the shoulder and point to a camera.
Yep. Multiple,
Okay.
because you're near to the college.
Elizabeth, we have less time now. Deal with the fucking rage later. Let's deal with the consequences of now. We need to get Alyssa and get the fuck out of here. And we need to destroy the evidence. We need to just do something to make sure no one finds this and traces back to us, because the Inquisition will be on us so fucking quick now, especially after you just punched that tree. And then if they come here and see that fucking almost satanistic display and Al's body,
What do you expect me to do, Lex? This is not my ballpark. I punch things and I deal with finances.
Then deal with fucking finances. Get us a hotel in a dummy name. We'll have to.
With
fucking-
what? I have no tech and no money, and my card's probably blacklisted.
Well, to be honest, with that camera right there, just seeing what you've done, you might as well get the money out, because they're going to be tracing you here anyway. Or go find someone, fucking mug them, and just get their money, because you're the only one who can do that right now. We've got minutes.
Right. Get Excalibur, get Alyssa, get what's left, the prince, and I will be 5 seconds.
Right. Okay.
With that, I will run over to the B&M, to the cash machine out front, and literally tap in, put the card in, and try and draw whatever I can from the rather substantial bank balance.
The one that has been completely emptied by First Light.
Oh, great fun. Okay, is there anybody around outside the front of B&M?
There is no one around outside the front of B&M.
I'm going to rip the cash machine off the wall and take all the money out of it.
There
Yeah.
we go. Now you're thinking like a gangrel.
Nicely done.
Okay, roll me a strength and athletics. I'm
Oh,
going to
yay.
assume, roll me a rouse check first,
Yeah.
because I'm going to assume you're going to enhance the blood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I've got no athletics. It's all brawl and melee.
Then we'll use brawl.
And I
get
failed the
hungrier.
process. Yep.
But you feel that sudden swell of
So
power.
we're using.
Your beast in the back of your mind going, well,
So we're using strength and
desperation.
brawl. How much am I gaining from the blood?
Point. It's only a
7
point, but it's something.
7 dice. So I'll do a 5 and a 2.
One of those was a 9, so the one's counted off. Yep, so that's fine.
Went back. Freaking. And there's the other 2.
Total successes.
3, if I'm reading that right.
Yes.
Okay. You pull, basically, you grip onto the side of things and just rip the cash machine out of the wall. Supernatural powers and nothing compared to, man-made structures, nothing compared to supernatural powers. You basically pop a claw, drive into the money part of it, rip it open. There's the sound of what seems like a small alarm going off from it, but you manage to bag about 3 grand's worth of cash. Just notes.
Straight back to the church. Hopefully Lex has done his part.
Hopefully, has Lex done his part?
Lex, what was your part?
My was basically grabbing Alyssa and Excalibur and getting them out of there.
And Arlen.
Alyssa
and Excalibur.
I
I can't carry all 3. I've got strength 2. That's all I can
Okay.
carry.
Okay. You managed to pull Alyssa up and over your shoulder. Alyssa, you are conscious. That hurts.
I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I'm screaming. I'm crying. I'm just put me
Alyssa,
down. Put me down. Just
We
put me
haven't got
down.
fucking Alyssa. We haven't got fucking time. The Inquisition will be here any minute. Fucking Elizabeth punched the tree down on camera. We've got to go.
We can't leave him, Lex. Lex, we can't.
He's dead and gone. There's nothing there. That's not your Arlo. That's not your prince.
There is this moment of cracking to the walls when you say the name.
Oh
Yep,
fuck!
You've
Shit.
done it
Go on.
now.
You hear one window smash.
Let's go. Let's
Another
fucking
smash.
go. I just pull him.
All right, you grab the blade out of the lectern. As you go to pull it, it doesn't move.
I leave it. I know. Fuck it. It's a fucking sword. You should have another one and go. It found you last time. It can find you again. I'm totally not worthy of that blade.
Nope. Not for shit.
Nope.
You bolt out of the door, out into the night's air, just to the point in time where Elizabeth comes around the corner. You can actually start to see parts of the church fracture and break away, starting to turn into dust, almost sand in
That's
places.
good. That hides their evidence. Elizabeth, let's go. Shit's got weird. Let's go.
Right.
And with that, you bolt off into the night. And as much as I would love to carry this on for the full amount of time, I think I may have some writing to do, so I'm calling it there.